I think it's time for us to address the elephant in the room.
R. Kelly was the first corporately sponsored pedophile. Everybody knew.
Once the came out on R. Kelly, Jay-Z fled the scene.
Point was, he knew all the time.
For 20 years, Jay-Z refused to speak out against R. Kelly, but his former partner, Dame Dash, won't stay silent.
Aaliyah is key to everything. Aaliyah and I were very serious. We talked about getting married, so I knew exactly what went on.
She'd just be like, no, that's a bad man.
R. Kelly did indeed marry his protege, the 15-year-old singer Aaliyah Houghton.
Like, Aaliyah was like the sacrificial lamb for all that.
22-year-old rising star Aaliyah has been killed in a horrific plane crash.
It's a pain that you couldn't understand.
It changed you, turned you into a monster.
When Dame was at his lowest, Jay committed the ultimate betrayal.
I had so much trust in my brother, but he did things that I thought he would never do. So what you think I felt all these years?
For 20 years, R. Kelly's power protected him.
At that time, we did not look hard enough.
Remember Aaliyah's album cover?
Age ain't nothing but a number. Sitting back there like Perv Master.
I mean, I wasn't there. I ain't have nothing to do with that.
They made a song together called Not Guilty. Anybody that knows what happened to my girl that with me should not be with homie, period.
Tell me about the relationship with Jay-Z. You and Jay-Z formed Rockefeller Records in the 90s. Are you and Jay-Z still friends?
Well, but there's been things where he's been in business with people that are against my honor code. So because of that, I kind of have to keep a distance.
As you hear all this other stuff in the news with R. Kelly, how does that make you feel about him?
I was just shocked at how long he got away with it. How many people turned and looked the other way. How many people were still, involved with him in any kind of way, knowing all those things.
Before R. Kelly, Dame and Jay were inseparable as they built an empire together.
You've been with Jay-Z since the beginning, right? So,
Yeah, for about 10, 15 years.
Jay-Z and Dame came from street money to starting a label that nobody wanted to sign Jay-Z, so they created their own and turned around and got him famous to where he got a deal. They got a deal at Def Jam.
We all know we're a family here at Rockefeller. Jay's my best friend. I'm not ashamed to say it. and we all know this, we close, and that's one of the reasons why we so tight as a family.
Dame always fought for Jay, even when no one else would.
I took it more personal than business because I was fighting for my friends and my brothers as opposed to people I didn't know.
This is the man that came in the corporate offices, and when they was robbing us, he made sure we got what we were supposed to get.
And we built this from nothing, nothing. So there's nothing that we can't see our way through.
But when Dame met Aaliyah, everything changed.
She was one of those people that if she did something first, everyone followed suit, because she was a very forward thinker.
Now, not only do you have your self-titled album coming out, we just heard that you have been confirmed for Matrix 2 and The Matrix 3.
Yeah.
Oh my God, congratulations.
I feel so blessed because everything that I've always wanted is happening to me. And I just feel like I have so many places to go and so many things to enjoy.
But I've never seen anyone that was going to affect the world like she did, despite the fact that she went through a lot of bull. Still very innocent and not jaded.
Aaliyah could see a different side of Dame, but as they got closer, there was one thing in their way.
Our intention at first wasn't even to be in love. We were just really good friends, and we fell for real. It was almost an accident.
My friend Natani brought me to this photo shoot in LA, and it was called like the It Girls, and we were talking about things about your soul and the evolution of your soul, and that was where our connection came. We developed a real friendship, but it was always apprehension because other people were trying to get at her.
And then, I guess Jay was trying to get at her as well, and I didn't know. He was sending flowers, and he was courting her.
Because the rumor originally was that you were connected to Jay. Exactly. Jay and I were hanging out a lot. He's my homie. We have a lot of fun together, but we never dated like that.
I'm gonna leave it.
So you have a boyfriend in your life?
It's personal life. That's
personal?
the personal life.
No.
I don't really discuss it. It's hard when you're in this business. You become a public figure.
It.
You know what I mean? And everything you do belongs to the public, and that's fine. But there's parts that you want to keep for you.
Dame knew how important Aaliyah's privacy was because she'd been under attack for her last relationship 5 years earlier.
Hip-hop star R. Kelly did indeed marry his protege, the 15-year-old singer Aaliyah Houghton.
That was a headline. That was something talked about like it was normal.
Did y'all ever talk about it?
We talked about it up to the point where it hurt.
As Aaliyah opened up to Dame, he learned just how dark the relationship with R. Kelly had been.
We were out on the road with Aaliyah.
On a tour bus, there really aren't any confined spaces. So it just so happened we were all laying in our bunks when the door flew open on the bus.
What did you see?
Things that an adult should not be doing with a child.
Dame would do anything to protect Aaliyah, but his partnership with Jay put him in a difficult position.
You ever have beef with R. Kelly while you was with Aaliyah?
She just wanted it left alone. So that's the thing that people would be like when Jay was doing videos with him, I was be in the video, but I'd be like, yo, what do you want me to do? And she'd be like, don't start nothing, just don't be in those shots with him. And she didn't want to deal with the bullshit. Like the things that had happened in the past, she told me leave it alone. I would have to respect her wish no matter what. And her wish was leave it alone, let me heal, let me rest, I'm in love, let's just enjoy this.
As their relationship grew, everyone around them could see how much Dame and Aaliyah meant to each other.
You know, the thing was, she was gone a lot. So the time that we had together, I mean, it was like we appreciated it.
They were in heaven. Nothing from the outside really got in their way. And she was so happy. She was so happy.
It was like the first kind of time that she had found this kind of peace and happiness, and the same thing for me. I didn't know what being in love was. I didn't even understand what that feeling is. And I was able to really achieve that with her. So now I know what it feels like.
So you were in love with her?
Yeah. Completely.
What was your last conversation with her?
I didn't want her to do the video.
Which video?
She was shooting a video in Miami. And I had my son and my nephews with me. And, you know, she was very supportive. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna come down there. I'll bring the kids, make a vacation, work, the whole nine. Remember she used to babysit you?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun with Aaliyah.
But when Aaliyah told Dame that she had to fly to the Bahamas to finish the video, he was desperate for her to stay.
I told her, like, I didn't want her to go. And that's kind of because that was one of the reasons why she was in such a rush to get back. And even when she got on the plane, she didn't like the plane. So like one of our last texts was, I don't like the plane. And I literally was like, don't get on it. I literally was like, don't get on it. And if I'd have been an asshole that day and really stood behind what I believed in, she wouldn't have got on that plane.
Hollywood lost a rising star with the death of 22-year-old R&B star Aaliyah.
Tell me about that day. Where were you?
I was getting my hair cut, and I was waiting for her. She was trying to get back really quickly because we were trying to see each other.
The small twin-engine Cessna erupted into a fiery nosedive just minutes after leaving the Bahamas, where Aaliyah was shooting an upcoming music video.
Your mother called, and you know, she said she had Fatima had called and said that there was a plane crash and Aaliyah was in it, and once I heard it, I knew it was true.
My cousins and I all heard it, and there was like 10 of us. We were just all crying down the line. And then I saw my dad, he was just devastated. I actually never saw him that low. I feel like emotionally he had hit rock bottom. It was probably like one of the worst days we ever had.
You also said that her death, it changed you, turned you into a monster.
Yeah, it made me fearless. Because I know what real pain feels like and I've dealt with it. It can't be nothing worse than that.
We actually have video at her funeral where you're very emotional. Remember that day?
I don't revisit it often because it hurts. But a lot was going on in that moment. I mean, I still had to get myself together and fight because there were things that were going on.
Dame barely had time to grieve when just 5 months after Aaliyah's death, Jay-Z did the unthinkable.
Just the idea of having a whole album with myself and R. Kelly was just an amazing prospect. Best of Both World tours come to a city near you.
Best of Both Worlds, t-shirts, draws, condoms, everything.
How do you deal with that when someone you respect does that you don't with at all? You gotta remember, once I knew Aaliyah, I knew everything. So yeah, if me and you cool, and you know that I got a girl that your man, and I tell you, and you gonna still work with him, what you gonna feel? So what you think I felt?
Even as new allegations came out, Jay looked the other way.
Kelly is accused of videotaping himself having sex with an underage girl. Prosecutors maintain the girl in the video was as young as 13 when it was made.
I mean, I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that. Like, I know I ain't have nothing to do with that.
That's crazy to me. Your partner? No, it's not. Yo, he's not my partner. Look how my partner played me. You calling him my partner? Publicly, that man did a record with that my girl and then went on a tour with him. But I had to look the other way. And because my girl said leave it alone, I left it alone.
You left it alone.
Dame couldn't break his promise to Aaliyah, but his anger was spiraling out of control.
Rumors of a growing rift between Jay-Z and Dame Dash. The Rockefeller CEO was caught crashing a marketing meeting at parent company Def Jam, accusing executives of trying to cut him out.
This is treacherous. I'm telling you, I'm sick of this. I seen all of y'all yesterday. Why nobody told me about a marketing plan about Jay-Z? How do y'all call a meeting about Jay-Z without Rockefeller? There ain't even nobody from Rockefeller in here.
Nah, we're gonna reschedule, man.
What the you mean you're gonna reschedule?
We're gonna reschedule, man.
What you mean you're gonna reschedule? You get the out. You're not a leader. You don't know about my culture. You don't know about Jay.
Dame was struggling to hold on to the one thing he had left, so he didn't see what was coming.
They don't give a That's all they do is exploit. So they trying to take our franchise from us.
You know about the Scarface party and all that?
No. Jay's performing for that?
Yeah, he's performing.
You can stop taping this shit.
Jay-Z is moving on from Rockefeller Records and former partner Dame Dash as he steps into his new role as president and CEO of Def Jam.
It's not a beef, it's just growing. And sometimes growing means growing apart. It's just part of life, it's part of growing up.
Do you know what's crazy about that meeting? In my heart, I had no idea that Jay set that meeting up, but he set that meeting up.
As Jay-Z left Dame behind, people couldn't understand why Dame was stuck in the past.
Dame is abrasive. Dame burned a lot of bridges.
I burned bridges so I don't have to go back.
I think that Dame is bitter now because Jay-Z is a fully megastar brand, married to Beyonce. Aaliyah is gone.
Will you please let Aaliyah rest? Will you let her die?
Even as Dame tried to move on, he couldn't let go of his pain over Aaliyah.
Everything that scared me is losing people I love, and everyone that I really loved, I've lost. So what it's made me be the animal that I am is that I don't want to sit down and think about the things that are hurting me.
Your secrets are about things you don't express to people. When it comes to feelings, you don't get to go around the feelings, you have to go through them.
The question is how?
When an explosive documentary exposed R. Kelly, Dame came face to face with the pain he'd been holding back.
Allegations made by more than a dozen women in the surviving R. Kelly docuseries, accusing the singer of holding them captive, brainwashing them. Prosecutors say 3 of his alleged victims were minors.
I can't really talk about being abused. It's like, it brings back memories, and it's very painful to have to talk about it again.
I wish that Aaliyah's family would speak, because I think there are so many young black girls who've been hurt, that what it would mean to know that Aaliyah was hurt that way too.
I can't stress to you enough how people are still suffering behind things that went on 20 years ago.
You know, I watched some of it yesterday as much as I could tolerate. There was a girl, and when she was even trying to talk about it, she couldn't. Yeah. And I remember Aaliyah trying to talk about it, and she couldn't.
Executive producer of Surviving R. Kelly, Dream Hampton, says the music industry is still protecting the R&B star. It was incredibly difficult to get people who had collaborated with Kelly to come forward. We asked Lady Gaga, we asked Celine Dion, we asked Jay-Z.
Everyone keeps looking the other way. Period. Everyone has all these morals and principles, but when it behooves them, they look the other way, and I'm not cool with that. The test of honor isn't convenient. Honor is when it's inconvenient.
And this time, Dame had to face his pain so he could do what was right.
It's time for us to take responsibility for empowering and looking the other way all those years.
Aaliyah's former boyfriend, Damon Dash, is one of the first celebrities to publicly speak out against R. Kelly.
If people would have protected Aaliyah, so many other girls wouldn't have got touched. Aaliyah was like the sacrificial lamb for all that, because she didn't deserve none of that. So this energy isn't anger, this is energy for change. I want to change the way we look at rehabilitation from trauma, which is a prison. I want to change the way we heal.
After 20 years, Dame's fight for Aaliyah finally got justice.
singer R. Kelly sentenced to 30 years behind bars after his conviction on racketeering and sex trafficking charges.
This is a significant outcome for all victims of R. Kelly, and especially for the survivors.
By remembering Aaliyah's lessons, Dame built the legacy that mattered most to him.
What do you want to be remembered as, man?
As a warrior, I fight for what I love.
Dame Dash is launching his own streaming platform focused on health and healing. And the entrepreneur is also expecting a new baby with fiancée Raquel Horn.
I saw all the things I was missing, so, you know, what do you think I'd rather do? Be on a yacht pouring champagne or a girl, or taking my daughter to get a cupcake? It's nothing better than taking your daughter to get a cupcake. You know, there's nothing better than watching your baby smile.
With his family by his side, Dame honors Aaliyah's memory every day.
There hasn't been one day since she's passed, not one. In the 20 years that I haven't either heard her name, heard a record, or seen a picture of her, every single day she's present in my life, and I feel lucky for that.
Every year the legend grows, and you were part of that legend. What do you think that people should remember about her?
She was the coolest. She still is. She was magic. I never thought I'd see that magic again.